Divine smile on you, friend. I wouldn't be at Thirsk if I wasn't. These days I focus a little more on the creature comforts of the Hall, though. The food, the drink, the stories. It drives Kuvar mad, but someone has to do it or the place would be a little cold.
It's not your fault. There were too many of them. Nobody could have known. Don't you see?
I make it, drink it, I share it with friends. Ha! Thirsk didn't always make its own mead. No, we used to get by on shipments from Skyrim. But those gold grubbers at the East Empire Company started charging more than their share for bringing it over. We still buy what we have to, but I make as much as I can.
What now? I just wanted to make sure you were...
All right then.
Your worry helps nobody.
It's not your fault. There were too many of them. Nobody could have known.
Don't you see, though? None of that matters. I'm going to go down as the unworthy because of that rabble.
You don't have to live like this now, though.
Unless you're ready to go fight those things, just lead me.
If you hear about the Reeklings, just tread quietly around my sister. You don't know the half of it. Bujel's just embarrassed, I think. Doesn't help that her husband is one of the loudest complainers. She's always been quick to shame. Kuvar. He thinks we've all gotten a little too soft. I can see what he means looking at Elmas, but the rest of us still have our edge. At least, I think so. And don't tell Elmas I said that. That depends on who you ask. I fight, I protect the Hall, I bring in meat, and I think I could take on most of the tree lovers up in the Skull Village. But because I'd rather drink a mug of meat at night instead of training until I drop, Kuvar calls me a layabout. Wish he would just lighten up. Until next time.
Glad to not be working on that ugly thing anymore. Finally getting some sleep. We brought ourselves out here, along with our shame. We used to be proud warriors of Thirsk Mead Hall, there, up on the hill. But we let that sweet life get the better of us. We grew soft and... Reeklings. Those filthy vermin, they came in numbers. Waves of the things. One at a time, they're pests. But with this many... And so here we are, out of our home. Do you know of the Skull? A long time ago, a man named Hrothmund left the Skull to form his own tradition. Warriors in the wild, living like the Nords of old. They would hunt, they would fight, and the mightiest among them would rise up as leader. But those days are behind us now. Until next time.
If there's one thing I can't stand, it's shoddy construction. Glad not to be working on that thing anymore.
Thanks for taking that thing down. We're supposed to be warriors, not crafters. What's going on here is that we've been kicked out of our home. The Mead Hall, up there on the hill. Some Reeklings have taken it over. With tenacity and numbers. It didn't help that we'd grown a little too comfortable up there. Too much mead. Too many stories. Too few battles. Are you offering to help? Some new blood should be enough to rouse these layabouts to actually fight again. Well, let's move then. Hey, you lazy milk drinkers, get over here. I know you're all starting to settle in here and keep up the fat lives you've got used to up in the hall. But look here, This outsider has more fire than any of you. All I had to do was mention our little infestation, and he volunteered in a second. I don't want to have my spirit outstripped by some wanderer, so let's get up there and kill us some Reeklings.
What was that? Over here.
Good enough. Come on.
Ah, that was almost exhilarating. How are you feeling? Good to hear. In fact, that's just the spirit I'll need from my second. Do you want to come with me? My second. If we're going to take up residence here again, I need to get the blessing of Rothmund again. I'll need a witness and, well, you see the kind of horker brains I deal with around here. What do you say? Well, let's not waste time talking about it then. Are you ready to go inside? The burial place of Rothmund, who founded Thirsk. He brought a group of true warriors away from the soft life of the Skal to know the wilderness, to feel the sting of cold and of steel. I know that sounds a little silly. It's just the way it's written in the books, and that phrase has always stuck with me. It's pretty simple. Rothmund's axe is in there with him. Anyone who attempts to take hold of it has their spirit judged by Rothmund himself. No, nothing like that. He doesn't need to battle us to know us. He's always watched over Thirsk and sees us from beyond. And in my case, since he's already deemed me worthy, it will just be a matter of him remembering why he blessed me before. Really, all you need to do is watch. Let's not waste any time then. I'd really just rather get to the barrow, if that's all right with you. there it is. So I just need to take hold of it.
You seek my blessing for the leadership of Thirsk Hall?
I do. It is I, Bujold. You blessed me in the past, and now I've rid the Hall of Reeklings and returned it to its rightful owners.
And well it is that this has happened. But I have always watched, and know that it was your softness that led to your own exile. You allowed your fellow warriors to grow weak, while the dangers around you mounted.
Then, the leadership is not mine?
No, nor is there any among you fit to serve. For a band in the wilderness, it is better to have no leader than a poor one.
That was a little embarrassing. Ashamed, but I guess that was the point. I need to return to Thirsk. No matter what Rothman says, we need a leader, and I'm still the best person for that. Look what's happened to us so far under his watchful eye. He gave his blessing to all the leaders who brought us to this point. Anyway, he's dead and we're alive. It's time to begin a new tradition for Thirsk, and I'm going to do that. All I need is for you to back me up. You don't even need to lie. Just don't tell anyone else what you heard here. Good. See that you do. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a hall to lead. We have enough problems around here without having to build that blasted thing outside. Thanks for helping us wake up and move off it.
But Jolt says you served well. Before we were married, I was her second on the first trip to the Barrow. Rothman knows strength, in this world and the next.
Are we off on the hunt again soon?
Calm yourself, Hillund. There's plenty of time for that. Soul's time isn't going anywhere.
Yes, I remember how I felt being there with her the first time, before we were wed.
Just be patient.
I hope to see you more around the hall, friend.
This one.
Getting a little antsy. We're gonna rebuild, the hall and ourselves, in some form or another. Now that we're back where we belong, I'm hoping we can get ourselves back to what Thirsk deserves. We're colder than the snow and harder than steel. We wrap ourselves in both to remind us of the world we face. At least that's my hope. We've all learned lessons at the expense of this recent unpleasantness. Mm-hmm.
Thanks for having my back, friend. I don't think we need that old ghost anymore. Whoever leads us next can go plead with him if they want to, but I'd rather make a tradition of my own. Rothman was a great man, but he wasn't a god or a paragon. We're alive, he's not, and we look to ourselves for strength. I lead those who will follow, and most of these are the following sort. So yes, I think we'll be all right. Aye.